8.2 video number 2, which goes along with 8.2 form number 2. In the previous video, we talked about 2 ways to solve a percent of a number problem. We said you could set up a proportion and cross multiply and divide to find your unknown, or you could multiply the percentage times the whole. And remember, you change the percent into a fraction or a decimal and then multiply by the whole number. Okay, for this form, you're showing your work for all 10 problems on lined paper. Follow all of the steps and solve both of the ways by using a proportion and by cross multiplying and dividing. Okay, in this video we'll talk about how to use the percent key to set up a proportion. Alright, this is going to be helpful to us also in lesson 8.3 when the unknown is different from something besides a part. So here's the percent key. It looks like this. Is over of is equal to the percent over 100. And here I have part and whole. The numbers on top are the parts. Those are the parts. The numbers on bottom are the wholes. Okay. Now whenever we're given a problem, the number before or after the word is in the problem, we're going to put in a box. Okay, so whatever number we box up, we'll put as the numerator on our first fraction. The number after the word of in the problem will be the whole, and we'll use a line underneath that number so that we know to put it there in the denominator of the first fraction. And then the percentage in the problem, we will circle that, and that will be the numerator over 100 on our second fraction. Okay, so once you plug in your numbers, then you have a proportion set up. All right, so you have is, of, and percent. This denominator is always 100 because percent is out of 100. So on 8.2 form number 2, this is number 1. We want 25% of 56. Okay, so this is basically asking you what is 25% of 56. Okay, so first I'm going to use this percent key to set up my proportion. So what number is before or after the word is? Well, in this problem, I don't know what is. I don't know what that part is because that's what I'm looking for. What is? All right, so since I don't know it, it's an unknown, let's use the variable x, unknown. Okay, so I'm going to make x as my numerator, the number on top in the first fraction. Okay, it says what is 25% of 56? Of 56. So the number after the word of, I'm going to underline, and that will be the denominator under is. Okay, then I have my equal sign, fraction, and on the second fraction, the denominator is always 100 because percent's out of 100. And if I read the problem again, what is 25%? So I'm going to circle my percentage, 25%. And I'll put 25%, the 25 over 100, right? Which makes sense, right? Because 25 over 100 is 25%. So once I plug in each of those things, the is, which is the unknown, the percent, and the whole, 56 is my whole in this problem, now I have a proportion I can cross multiply and divide. If I cross multiply and divide, x times 100 is 100x, 56 times 25 is 1400 or 1400, and then I divide both sides by the coefficient and I get x is 14. X equals 14. Okay, so this is the first way. I could call that 1a. We set up a proportion. This time I'm showing you how to use the percent key. The second way is to multiply. So if I want 25% of 56, remember of means multiply, so I change 25% either into a fraction or a decimal. Let's change it to a decimal. 25% is the same as 0.25. So I want 25% or 0.25 of multiply by that whole, by 56. And if you put that in your calculator, 0.25 times 56 will also give you 14. Okay, so that's using the percent key to set up a proportion and cross multiply and divide to find your unknown.